Hey everybody, Steve Riddle here from Team Riddlestruck, head coach and owner of Riddlestruck Fitness. I'm just in between my biathlon training day. I've just finished my jerk portion. I'm about to start my snatch, and I thought it was a great time to talk to you about which hand I start off with when I snatch and the reasons why. So for me personally, I like to use my right hand as my beginning hand. I am right-handed, so most people think, oh, it's because you're right-handed, it's your dominant side, that's why you want to. In all honesty, my right hand usually ends up failing faster when I actually am doing my snatch set. Maybe I pace faster, thinking that I'm stronger and I can do more. Or also just my grip. Again, I lose my grip a lot faster. So I end up switching my left. And my left, surprisingly, ends up usually taking me to close to that 9 to 10 minute mark, obviously what you're achieving for. The real reason why I actually choose my right is more for just my balance and my control. I can get into a lot smoother of a rhythm starting my right versus when I do with my left. I have tried with my left because, again, as I said earlier, my left ends up usually being just as good or if not better than my right. So I've also, okay, I'll try my left. However, I find that when I start with my left hand, it's just like a mind, my body, I'm just not in that rhythm. So I spend the first 30 seconds to a minute, maybe, really battling for that right position to feel comfortable when I'm snatching. So I'm using up energy just to adjust myself to get comfortable rather than saving that energy for the actual snatch. Again, obviously, when you're trying to create your balance or find your balance, your mind's overthinking, more your mind's thinking, you're not 100% focused on your snatch, which again could affect the overall performance. I find when I'm on my right side, it's just a much more smoother flow and I can get that rhythm a lot better. Hope you enjoy these tips and let me know which one you prefer.
Hi, Corissa here at the West Shore Warehouse, the head coach of the Kettlebell team here and a Kettlebell sport lifter since 2014. So just answering a quick question Solly sent to me about what arm I start with in a snatch set. Most commonly, I start with my dominant side. I've done that for years. It seems to have gone pretty well for me. And the reason why I do that is because it sets the tone for the set. I feel confident on that side. I'm more coordinated on that side. I get into a nice rhythm, into a nice groove, and it just sets me up for a good set. Also in competition, then I'm guaranteed to push that arm to the max, and that side has more reps than the other side. That being said, I've started to start my sets on my less dominant side more recently, just to try to force that adaptation on that left side. And also, I want to experiment with not only building more confidence in that side, but how far that arm can go when my whole body is fresh in a set as opposed to fatigued. So I prefer to start on my dominant side, but I'm starting to experiment more starting on my less dominant side and just seeing if I can force that adaptation and that progression on the left side as much as I can. Hope this helps. Good luck. And if you have any questions, I'm sure you'll aim them down below at Solly's post here.
Hello everyone, it's Denis Vasiliev. I received an awesome question from Solomon Mrs. about kettlebell sport. So the question is, when you do snatch, which arm you should go first? Strong, dominant arm or weak arm? And depends on your target. So if your target is time, if you have doubts about your 10-minute set that you will make it to finish or not, then I would recommend to start with the weak arm first, because especially if the weak arm is quite weaker than the right arm, when it's not just a couple reps, couple percent, but when it's like a serious difference, 20, 30%. Because in this situation, when your weaker arm is it's really weak and you will start with the strong arm, well, you don't really know how hard you should push. I mean, yes, you need to do your best, but you kind of not really sure how many minutes your left can manage. Will be 6 minutes enough with the strong arm? Will it manage 4 minutes, or maybe it's not? Should you go 7 minutes with the strong arm? So it's a little bit less unpredictable scenario. So better start with the weak arm. kind of go slow if you're going for time and try to stretch it for as long as possible. As closer you will get to the 5 minutes, as better, especially if your strong arm is strong and can handle the time with no problem. So this way you most likely will make the time. But we're talking about the strategy for the maximum result, for maximum reps. Then I recommend you to start with the dominant arm, and that will be just a better strategy repetitions wise. Because, we're trying to usually go a bit over 5 minutes with the first arm, so we'll be able to speed up a little bit on the second arm. And when we start with the weak arm, even if it can make a time, because it's the weak one, it's obviously kind of probably a bit slower than the right, so you'll just have a less reps, especially if you will be stretching time. Let's say you will make it 6 minutes with your weak arm, but your pace will be like maybe 90% from the pace of your strong arm, and you will switch and you will accelerate with your strong arm this remain time, like 4 minutes or 3 minutes, and you will still not be able to catch up with your average good pace. So better start with your dominant arm and go your maximum pace for at least 5 minutes, and then keep going for as long as you're able to maintain the pace. And again, if your weak arm is not too bad, then if on your strong arm you kind of went over 5 minutes and you start losing pace, so maybe it will be better for you to switch and just start working with your second arm just because of a better average pace. But if you're able to maintain the pace of minutes number 6 and you still going your maximum pace, that's great. That's awesome. Keep going. 6 minutes at least. That's usually kind of a fair proportion. When it's 6 to 4. And then switch. And again, because it's your weak arm, but you have only 4 minutes to go, or let's say maybe 3:30 or 3, so you will really be able to go a bit faster than your pace for 10 minutes. You most likely will be able to go as fast as you went with your strong arm, and you end up with really great numbers. So that's my answer. Thank you.